guys, hope you're well. I thought I would share a book haul today because I have a variety of books that I have come by, and I guess this is forming my to be read as well. So I took a little bit of a break from sort of bookish type things, and now I'm back into full swing again. Life kind of got really busy and my reading went by the wayside, but now I'm back and I'm reading again, which is great. And yeah, so I'm always on the lookout. I love watching book hauls because I'm always on the lookout for new books, so I thought I would share some of them with you too. So I guess let's just get cracking. So the first one is one that I bought myself. I saw this in a bookshop and it looked really interesting, so I picked it up. It's called Silver, Return to Treasure Island by Andrew Motion, and I love the picture of the moon and the little boat on the sea. I think that's really cute. So let's just read the blurb on this one. It says, "Think of the fortune waiting for you. July 1802, young Jim Hawkins and Long John Silver's daughter Natty set off in the footsteps of their fathers. The lure of hidden treasure and the thrill of the ocean odyssey soon give way to terror as the Nightingale reaches its destination. Treasure Island is not uninhabited as it once was." I think that sounds absolutely amazing myself. I have to say, Treasure Island is a classic and I think a kind of must read if you've never read the classic Treasure Island. So to kind of see this in a retake, I really like books that are kind of like either a rewrite or set in the same world, or you know, kind of follow the same story. I really enjoy those sort of books. Like I read the Tiger Lily one, which is based on, you know, Neverland, and Wicked, which is kind of like the retelling of the Wicked Witch of the West. So I'm really excited to read Silver. I think that sounds really, really interesting. So the next one to share is a book that was given to me by my friend. My friend has had a massive reading slump as well because they recently moved house and they're renovating a period cottage and it's just busy, busy, busy. But normally I swap and share friends with my friend. I swap and share books with my friend because she's very much into witches and vampire type stories like I am. So we kind of swap and borrow and lend off of each other. So she hasn't really been reading much lately, but she has finished this book and she has now given it to me. It's Bitten by Kelly Armstrong. And so it says, "I've been fighting it all night. I'm going to lose. Nature wins out. It always does." Eleanor Michaels didn't know that her lover Clay was a werewolf until he bit her, changing her life forever. Betrayed and furious, she cannot accept her transformation and wants nothing to do with her pack, a charismatic group of fellow werewolves who say they want to help. But when a series of brutal murders threatens the pack, Elena is forced to make an impossible choice: abandon the only people who truly understand her new nature, or help them to save the lover who ruined her life and who still wants her back at any cost. So I've not really read many werewolf books, but it sounds interesting. I'll certainly give it a go. My friend said she really enjoyed it. It is an adult book. She said she felt a little bit embarrassed when she went to a bookshop and said, I want to be pointed in the direction of adult vampire type books and not young adult books, and what do you recommend? And this was the book that the person who worked at the bookshop recommended to her, and she said that she really, really enjoyed this book. So, you know, I will give it a go. I am very open-minded when it comes to books, so I will give anything a go. So that's that one. The next lot of books have all been sent to me for review, which is absolutely fantastic. And I had a bit of a reading slump, but I was on the internet quite a bit and I was reading book blogs and trying to sort of find out about some new books, some new and exciting books that I could read. And I came across a website called Bookbridger, which is a website that if you blog or do YouTube videos about books, you can register for and potentially get the opportunity to be sent books to review. And I was really lucky that you have to register and show your blog and show blog posts that you do. So I submitted my blog, and I was very, very, very lucky. I'm so excited that I got approved to join, which is awesome. And since I was approved to join, I've got sent a whole load of books, which is fantastic. Well, I say a whole load. 4. I can't count. I've been sent 4 books, and I will leave a link to the website below if you're a book blogger and you'd be interested in joining, because I don't believe in keeping these things to yourself. And you can either just be sent books or you can request books to review. So these next ones are all ones that I have received from that website, and I think it's like directly from the author, so it's absolutely amazing. So the first one, which I've actually started reading because it just looked so good. I mean, seriously, look at that cover. Brilliant. This is not the actual cover though. This is a special edition review copy. This isn't the actual cover. And I'll show you on the back. So this is actually book 1 of 100 for review. So that is really, really exciting. And I will read you the description of the book. So, Mainz 1450. The task in hand for young scribe Peter Schoeffer is ambitious, even blasphemous, printing the Holy Bible. The ink was black as heaven's vault, the letters sharp and gripping. He stared, transfixed, in their austerity and density. The letters made a page of extraordinary beauty. Gutenberg was fairly hopping just behind him. Peter felt his energy and eagerness, and from the corner of his eye he saw him reaching. Peter held the page out to him. My God! The master's face was open, softened, every trace of sharpness gone. A scribe, my eye, a bloody carving genius more like. That was the moment it all changed. Okay, and so they also sent a press release with the book, and yeah, it just sounds absolutely amazing. So I'm going to read a bit more about the book from the press release. You love books, the way words and letters run perfectly across the paper as a story unfolds or races, the serifs and sans that paint adventure, love, sadness, cruelty, obsession, joy. In this world and beyond, the spine, broken or unbroken, the slightly coarse surface of each page and their knife-sharp corners, folded to save your place for later perhaps. And it's that smell too, both new and old, that has the power to remind you of all your favourite stories all over again. So if you love books so much, isn't it time you found out where they came from? I just think that sounds absolutely amazing, and I started reading it as soon as it came in, and I'm 3 chapters in already, and yes, so a review of that will definitely be coming really, really soon. So that was, Gutenberg's Apprentice by Alex Christie, and yeah, loving that so far. Okay, so the next one is a great big, huge, chunky book. It is The Vanishing Witch. You know me, I love my witchy type books. The Vanishing Witch by Karen Maitland. And it's pretty big and chunky. It's got a couple of red snakes on the front. So I will read the back. The reign of Richard II is troubled. The poor are about to become poorer still, and the landowners are lining their pockets. It's a case of every man for himself, whatever his status or wealth. But in a world where nothing can be taken at face value, who can you trust? The Dow wool merchant, his impressive son, his stepdaughter with the bewitching eyes, or the raven-haired widow clutching her necklace of bloodstones. And when people start dying unnatural deaths, and the peasants decide it's time to fight back, it all becomes too easy to spy witchcraft at every turn. Step back in time with Maitland's Dark Tales. Ooh. Sounds very interesting indeed. This one is out. Oh, it was out on the 14th of August. These have all got press releases with them, so there's kind of more information. You have to excuse me because I'm still one-handed at the moment, and it's a little bit difficult to do these types of things when you're one-handed. So it's a chilling novel set against the backdrop of the peasants' revolt. The Vanishing Witch sees Karen at her dark and gothic best, with a tale coloured by her trademark elements of treachery, superstition, myths and magic. Ooh, cool. She is the best-selling author of Liars and Thieves. I've never heard that one, but it sounds good. And there's a whole massive synopsis here, but I don't know. It also says The Vanishing Witch is a dark medieval thriller about the destruction of family, which mirrors the destruction of society all around it. Ooh, it sounds really exciting. It does sound really exciting, actually, and the thought that it feels quite daunting because it's massive, but I am very much looking forward to reading that. I can't wait. Okay, so next on it's The Crimson Ribbon. And The Crimson Ribbon is by Catherine Clements. Again, it's got sort of like an older type cover. What's the word? Sort of this kind of thing that you would see on a tapestry, I guess. What does this one say? May Day, 1646. Ruth Flowers finds herself suddenly brutally alone, forced to flee the household of Oliver Cromwell, the only home she has ever known. Ruth takes the road to London and there is given refuge by Lizzie Poole. Beautiful and charismatic, Lizzie enthralls the vulnerable Ruth, binding her inextricably to her world. But Ruth is still haunted by fears of her past catching up with her, and as Lizzie's radical ideas escalate, she finds herself carried to the heart of the country's conflict, to the trial of a king. Based on the real figure of the extraordinary Elizabeth Poole, The Crimson Ribbon conjures a mesmerising story of two women's obsession, superstition and hope. Ooh, 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 ooh. And that one comes out on the 11th of September, so not long at all now. So it's basically a historical fiction, and it sounds interesting. I'm really interested in things about Oliver Cromwell anyway, because Oliver Cromwell's house is in the next village from us. Seriously, the next village is Oliver Cromwell's house, and I've been there, and also in one of our nearest towns we have an Oliver Cromwell museum, so I find stuff about Oliver Cromwell really interesting. My dad used to be really interested in Oliver Cromwell and kind of did a lot of research, you know, sort of fact finding about Oliver Cromwell, so those kind of things really, really, really fascinate me, so I'm dead excited to read this book. Okay, the last book is something very, very different, something that I wouldn't normally read myself, but one that I looked interesting and I thought I would request it. So I kind of got myself mixed up, okay, and as I said, I really am interested in stuff about Oliver Cromwell, and on the Bookbridger website, as I said, you can request books, and I saw this book and I requested it thinking it was something that it later turns out that it's not. Basically, it is wow, it's huge, right? It's a biography of Thomas Cromwell, and I misread it thinking it was Oliver Cromwell. I think because I had the Crimson Ribbon in my head, I thought this was about Oliver Cromwell, but it's not. It's about Thomas Cromwell, who was a servant to Henry VIII, and it's a biography, so I don't tend to normally read non-fiction, but I was like, oh, Oliver Cromwell, more information about Oliver Cromwell, I've so got to request that. So it's about Thomas Cromwell. It's by Tracy Borman. However, I am going to give it a go because I have it and it still looks interesting, and when I think of Thomas Cromwell I always think of the Carry On film, Carry On Henry, which is really bad, so it'd be really interesting to kind of kind of learn a bit more. I'm not sure whether I'll read it cover to cover or whether I'll just kind of skim read it and dip in and out of it at all. I'm not sure. It might be a bit too heavy going to read in one go, but I shall certainly give it a go anyway, and see kind of what, you know, learn more about Thomas Cromwell. So there we go. That was my book haul, and I've got a few books now to keep me going for the next couple of weeks. And yeah, look out for reviews on those books. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.